It is Wednesday, February 15th, and we welcome you back to another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk, and I'm your host, your humble host, Dujane Bland. And today, we're going to talk a little bit of NBA, and I'm going to share with you a few of the teams in the top of the NBA rankings coming in to the All-Star break, which will be starting this weekend with the Skills Challenge and the All-Star game on Sunday. I have to tell you, I am a huge fan of the Skills Challenge. I like all the little extracurricular activities that go on. Although I do watch the All-Star game, the All-Star game usually isn't that exciting until the third, fourth quarter. There's a lot of standing around, watching guys, do incredible things, and that's cool. But when the defense starts really getting down and guys really start to get playing, it usually happens late in that ball game. Now, with that being said, when we look at the Eastern Conference, and I'll tell you, after taking a look and seeing, I don't know if you guys were able to catch the game the other night, with the Washington Wizards playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm going to tell you, Russell Westbrook had an off night. But the Washington Wizards deserve a lot of credit for the way that they played. They defensively were stout, moving the ball very effectively, taking high-quality shots. John Wall seemed to be in a very good groove, facilitating as a point guard. And when you look at this team over the last 10 games, they're 9-1 over the last 10 games. Very, very hot coming into the All-Star break. You look at the standings in the NBA. And when you take a look at the standings per conference, you look at the Eastern Conference, you have the Cleveland Cavaliers at number 1, they're 37-16. You look at the Boston Celtics at 36-19. You look at the Washington Wizards right there in third place, 33-21 is their record on the season. And then you have the Hawks behind them, 32-23. Raptors, 32-23. And then it's 29-26 for the Pacers, 26-29 for the Bulls, and 26-30 for the Pistons. And that's your top 8 in the Eastern Conference. And really the top 5 teams are the teams, that's where the logjam is. It's a pretty close race. Number 5 is about 6 games back from number 1. Both 5 and 4 are 6 games back from number 1, and then you have the Wizards 4.5 games back. The Celtics are 2.5 games back. So it's a logjam right there in that top 4, top 5 of the Eastern Conference. But I'm gonna tell you, the top 3 teams are hot right now, playing very consistent basketball. But when you look at their records, you know what stands out to me in those top 3 teams, where yes, those teams do look like they're starting to gear up, understand that they're jockeying for position and having a quality position, especially being able to possibly have a home game or start it out and be the home host of the playoffs, are those top 3 teams. But when you look at these teams, their road game records are not very good. You look at the Washington Wizards. They very hot, 9-1, along with the Boston Celtics. I believe the Boston Celtics are 9-1 as well in their last 10 games. But the Wizards' road record, they have only won 9 of 14 games on the road. That's not going to cut it coming down the stretch. Now, that may well get you in the playoffs, but when it comes down to playoff basketball, you have to be able to go to the opponent's home. You have to be able to steal 1 or 2 there and be able to take that cohesive play, that togetherness on the road in a hostile environment if you want to have an opportunity to get to the conference finals and to the NBA finals. Wizards are 24-7 at home. They're pretty tough at home, but very difficult. It has been very difficult road for them on the road. You look at their home record, 24. Actually, their conference record. They're 22-14 in the Eastern Conference. They're 5-5, right at 500 there in the Southeast. Their division there, but they're leading their division as an overall record. They're on a 3-game winning streak, so that's pretty awesome for them. The points per game. They're scoring about 108 points per game. They're allowing 105 points per game. So, got to play a little bit of defense. Get that defensive play up and on par. And if they can do that, man, I really think they have an opportunity to really be a force in the playoffs. You look at guys like Beal, Gortat. You look at House has come in and he's at times played very well. I thought I saw some of the second unit yesterday as the game was kind of out of hand there. Guys come in and making plays and really kept the offense going. And facilitating, moving the ball around, taking high percentage shots, looking very well. I think they have a solid roster that can come in, and if they can continue to play at this level, and John Wall can continue to facilitate, getting guys involved, Beal, Wall, and those guys playing at a high level, Otto Porter, Morris. Those guys playing at a high level, they have a very good opportunity to be able to go far in the playoffs. Now you look at the Boston Celtics. When you look at their record, they are 9-1 in their last 10 games. Another team that is hot, but their road record not very good. They're 17-11 on the road. Now it is on the positive side, but not very dominant on the road. They're 19-8 at home. So, again, another team that allows about 105 points per game. They score 108 points per game. Another team that has to work on their defense. They're better in their division, though. In that Atlantic division, they're 7-3 and 23-9 in the Eastern Conference. So they're playing really good basketball there. They just have to understand. They have to play better on the road, especially down the stretch. When we start going into playoffs and getting that cohesiveness in a hostile environment, because it's going to be necessary in the playoffs, especially if you want to win and you want to go far. When you start getting up the ladder, start getting into the later rounds of the playoffs, it's important to be able to steal games on the road, play together, be able to stay focused, and be in tune with the fundamentals. And Cleveland Cavaliers, on the other hand, though, they have been 7-3 in their last 10 games. They're 14-11 on the road. Again, not a phenomenal road record, but on the positive side, about 3 games above 500. And then they're 23-5 at home. They're scoring a lot more points than these other two teams, 111 on average, and they're allowing 106 per game. And they are 4-5 in their division, and 24-6 in the Eastern Conference. Now, these 3 teams, I believe, are teams that are getting hot at the right time. Coming into this stretch, you want to finish. It's kind of like the halfway point of the season. You want to come in, finish strong, be able to go into that All-Star break with a little bit of momentum. And those 3 teams are doing just that, especially the Celtics and the um, wow, and the Washington Wizards. Now you look at the Western Conference; it's pretty cut and dry there. Top three teams have been consistent all season long. The Warriors at 1, Spurs 2. Warriors are 46-9. Spurs are 42-13. Rockets are 40-17. Then there's a huge drop off after that. Clippers 34-21, Jazz 34-22, Grizzly 34-23, Thunder 31-25 at 7, and then 8 the Denver Nuggets 25-30. And I really think in the Western Conference right now, it's dominated by the top three. And any one of those three, Warriors, Spurs, Rockets, could probably end up in the NBA Finals. As of right now, and I said it at the beginning of the season, I think most people believe this, is that the Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers will be in the finals again. I do think that Cleveland can beat the Warriors. I think they're just a little bit more of a physical team. Again, it's all contingent on the old saying, you live by the three, you die by the three. And it's very important for that team to be a little bit more physical when it comes down to getting in the lane. They have Durant now. He's a guy that can take you off the dribble, can dominate inside and out. So it's going to be interesting, but that's my pick for now in the NBA Finals. But those are your top three teams right there in the West. Clippers, always, you never know what you're getting out of them. Utah, Grizzlies, Thunder. I don't see any of them really beating any of the top three teams in having an opportunity to be in that Western Conference Finals at all. Those teams are just superior, especially in the last few years. You look at the Spurs and how they've been playing. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're better on the road than they are. Pretty equal on road and home. 23-7 on the road, and they're 19-6 at home. Again, a very high quality coached team by Popovich. They're scoring 106 a game, allowing 98. That's really good as far as defense is concerned. And they're always a polished basketball team. Anytime you see them, they're very polished in how they go about their business on the offense and defensive side of the ball. When you look at the Golden State Warriors, they are 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're pretty even as well. They're 23-6 on the road and 23-3 at home. Again, if you want to beat a team like this, you have to play better on the road. And you look at those Eastern Conference teams, as we talked about earlier, they're struggling. They're not as dominant, especially as the Warriors. I mean, 23-6 on the road is a excellent record, and speaks to the reason why they're 46 and only have 9 losses on the year so far. They're 9-2 in the Pacific, 29-7 in the Western Conference, and again, very, very high quality coach team. And with the addition of Kevin Durant, just adds another bullet to the chamber. And I know a lot of people don't care for it, but that's business. And, I can't fault the guy for wanting to go and win a championship. I don't necessarily agree with it. There's too many other guys that we know, like the Jordans, the Charles Barkleys, that wouldn't have done that. But hey, man, this is a new age, and you take advantage of opportunities, especially when you're getting a little bit up there and you want to be able to win a title. So I can't fault him for that. Now, Houston Rockets, as we talked about, they are the third seed as of right now in the Western Conference. Their last 10 games, they've been 6-4 in their last 10, 19-11 on the road, and 21-6 at home. And again, that road record, it's not below 500, but it is a very close record. And it's, again, these teams have to get hot at the right time and take advantage of this stretch after the All-Star break and fine-tune some things. And that's going to be a key for every team that's competing in the playoffs. It's going to be about being able to win on the road. And I think it applies more to the Eastern Conference teams, being that there's still a big discrepancy when you look at that. If you're going to take the top 5 teams in the West and the top 5 teams in the East and then look at how they compare, you can tell that there is a little bit elevation in talent and skill and an execution on both sides of that conference there. And it's going to take an Eastern Conference team that's not only getting high at the right time, but has found a way to win games on the road, because that's going to be the deciding factor in trying to secure an NBA championship against a Western Conference that's pretty strong, especially when you look at Golden State. You look at the Spurs, who year after year are right there competing, and now you have teams like also the Houston Rockets and the way that James Harden and that group are playing. You have to find a way to get consistent on the road. That is all for today's show. And if you want to get at us, you want to shoot us an email, you want to shoot something over that you want to hear talked about on this show, you can do that via social media. Twitter. My Twitter handle is NotBland21. You can shoot me a tweet there or a direct message, and I will get back to you ASAP. And if it's good enough, we'll talk about it on the show. If you don't do Twitter, you can hit me up on the emails. That is straightshootingst@gmail.com. That's straightshootingst@gmail.com. And as always, you can see my written work on sportsjourney.com. Well, we hope you have a great day and catch the All-Star games. And this has been another episode